Weak people react. Strong people observe. It sounds harsh, but it is the truth. If someone can make you angry with just a few words, they own you. If a traffic jam can ruin your day, you are not free. You are a puppet, and the world is pulling your strings. Most people think strength is about shouting back, or hitting back, or having the last word. They are wrong. True power is the ability to sit in the middle of chaos and remain completely still. The most dangerous person in the room is never the loudest one. It is the one who notices everything but reacts to nothing. We live in a culture that is addicted to reaction. Look at social media. It is designed to make you react. You see a headline, you get mad. You see a comment, you get defensive. You see a photo, you get jealous. It is a constant cycle of stimulus and response. You are like a pinball in a machine, bouncing from one emotional trigger to the next, never stopping to breathe. And it is destroying you. It is destroying your focus, your happiness, and your self-respect. Every time you lose your cool, you give away a piece of your power. You hand the remote control of your emotions to a stranger, or a boss, or a rude driver. The ancient Stoics figured this out thousands of years ago. They realized that we cannot control what happens to us. We can't control what people say, but we have absolute control over how we respond. Epictetus, a slave who became a philosopher, said, "It is not things that disturb us, but our judgment of things." Today, we are going to learn the art of not reacting. This isn't about being a doormat. It isn't about letting people walk all over you. It is about strategic silence. It is about conserving your energy for the things that actually matter. We are going to look at the psychology behind why we get triggered, and I am going to give you practical mental tools to become the unmovable rock in a storm. By the end of this video, you will have the secret weapon that separates the leaders from the followers. Let's be honest about how most of us live our days. You wake up feeling okay, then you check your phone. You see an email from your boss that sounds passive-aggressive. Boom, your mood drops. You get in the car, someone cuts you off. Boom, your heart rate spikes. You yell at the windshield. You get home and your partner says something critical. Boom, you snap back, and now you are in a 2-hour argument over dirty dishes. In every one of these scenarios, you were the victim. Not the victim of the boss or the driver, but the victim of your own automatic reactions. Psychologists call this emotional reactivity. It is when your brain skips the thinking part and goes straight to the feeling part. It is a survival mechanism. Back in the caveman days, if you heard a twig snap, you didn't have time to think. You had to react or a tiger would eat you. But today, the email from your boss is not a tiger. The rude comment on Instagram is not a tiger, yet your body treats it the same way. Your cortisol spikes, your adrenaline pumps, you enter fight or flight mode. The problem is that when you are in this state, your IQ literally drops. You say things you don't mean. You make bad decisions. You burn bridges. And the worst part? The other person wins. If someone insults you and you get angry, you have just told them, "What you think of me matters." You have validated them. You have given them the power to dictate your internal state. As long as you are reactive, you are easy to manipulate. All anyone has to do to control you is push your buttons. If you want to be free, you have to disconnect the buttons. You have to stop being a puppet. You have to realize that your anger is a punishment you give to yourself for someone else's mistake. Why should you suffer because someone else is an idiot? So how do we stop? How do we turn off this biological alarm that goes off every 5 minutes? We need to train our minds. We need to install a new operating system. Here are 5 levels of detachment that will take you from a reactive mess to a stoic master. Level 1, the sacred pause. The first step is simple, but it is the hardest to do. It is called the gap.
Viktor Frankl was a psychiatrist who survived the Nazi concentration camps. He lost everything: his family, his freedom, his dignity. But he discovered one thing they couldn't take away. He said, "Between stimulus and response, there is a space. In that space is our power to choose our response. In our response lies our growth and our freedom." Most people have no space. Stimulus, insult; response, anger. It happens instantly. Your job is to widen that gap. When something triggers you, you must force a pause. It can be 1 second, it can be 5 seconds. Next time someone disrespects you, do not speak immediately. Take a deep breath, count to 3 in your head. During those 3 seconds, your brain switches from the emotional center, the amygdala, to the logical center, the prefrontal cortex. You go from animal mode to human mode. In that pause, you ask yourself one question: is this worth losing my peace over? 99% of the time, the answer is no. That pause is the difference between a regret and a victory. Silence is not empty, it is full of answers. Use the pause to find them.
Level 2. The so what test. We react because we assign value to things that don't have value. We treat a minor inconvenience like a life or death situation. The Stoics practiced a technique called objective representation. It means stripping away the emotional language and looking at the raw facts. Let's say someone calls you stupid. Your emotional brain says, "They humiliated me. I need to defend my honor. Everyone is watching." The Stoic brain says, "Sound waves came out of their mouth. Those sound waves formed a word. That is their opinion. Does their opinion change my IQ? No. Does it change my bank account? No. Does it change who I am? No. So what? Start using the phrase "so what" as a shield. You're boring. So what? I don't like your shirt. So what? They didn't invite you to the party. So what? When you use this phrase, you are stripping the weapon of its power. You are refusing to accept the gift of insult. Imagine someone tries to hand you a bag of trash. If you don't take it, who does the trash belong to? It still belongs to them. They have to carry it. When someone insults you, they are trying to hand you their emotional trash, their bad day, their insecurity, their anger. If you react, you grab the bag. You say, "Here, let me carry that heavy, smelly bag for you." Don't take the bag. Look at it, shrug, and say, "So what?" Let them keep their garbage. Level 3. The view from above. Sometimes we react because we are too zoomed in. We are looking at our life through a microscope. Every little problem looks huge. Marcus Aurelius used to imagine looking at the earth from high above. From space, you can't see the traffic jam. You can't hear the rude comment. You can't see the person who annoyed you. You just see a tiny blue dot. When you zoom out, you realize how small these problems are in the grand scheme of things. Will this matter in 5 years? Will this matter next month? Will this matter by dinner time? If the answer is no, then it does not deserve your energy now. We act like we are the main character in a movie, and everyone else is just an extra. So when an extra messes up their line, we get mad. But the truth is, everyone is the main character in their own movie. The guy who cut you off isn't trying to ruin your day. He is probably late for work, or stressing about a bill, or about to wet his pants. It has nothing to do with you. When you realize that people's behavior is about them, not you, you stop taking it personally. And when you don't take it personally, you don't react. You just observe.
You look at them like a scientist observing a weird bug. That person is very angry. Interesting. And then you move on.
Level 4. Starving the fire. There is a specific type of person who wants you to react. We call them toxic people, trolls, or narcissists. They feed on drama. They are energy vampires. When they provoke you, they are looking for narcissistic supply. They need your anger to feel important. If you yell back, you are giving them exactly what they want. You are feeding the monster. The only way to win against these people is to starve them. Psychology calls this the gray rock method. You become as boring and uninteresting as a gray rock. They say something mean. You say, okay. They try to start an argument. You say, I hear you. They try to guilt trip you. You say, I understand you feel that way. You give them nothing, no emotion, no drama, no defense. When you do this, it drives them crazy. They will try harder at first. They will escalate. But if you hold the line, if you refuse to react, they will eventually get bored and move on to an easier target. Your silence is a mirror. When you don't react, you force them to sit with their own craziness. You are not playing tennis with them anymore. They are hitting the ball against a wall and it is bouncing right back into their face. Level 5. Converting energy. This is the advanced level. The masters don't just ignore the negative energy, they use it. There is a concept in physics called the conservation of energy. Energy cannot be destroyed, only transformed. Anger is energy. It is high-octane fuel. When someone doubts you, or mocks you, or rejects you, you feel that heat in your chest. Most people waste that heat by venting. They complain to their friends. They write an angry Facebook post. They let the steam out, and then they are empty. The Stoic keeps the steam inside the engine. You take that anger and you channel it into your work. You channel it into the gym. You channel it into your business. Don't prove them wrong with your words. Prove them wrong with your results. The best revenge is massive success. The best comeback is a life well lived. When you are tempted to react, tell yourself, I am too busy leveling up to deal with this. Imagine you have a limited amount of credits to spend each day. You have 100 energy credits. Getting into an argument costs 20 credits. Being annoyed at traffic costs 10 credits. Worrying about a rumor costs 15 credits. If you spend all your credits on nonsense, you have 0 left for your dreams. You have 0 left for your family. You are bankrupt. Be stingy with your reaction. Hoard your energy like a miser. Spend it only on things that give you a return on investment. I want you to imagine a hurricane. On the outside, the winds are tearing trees out of the ground. Houses are being destroyed. It is chaos. It is loud. It is violent. But in the dead center of the hurricane, there is the eye. In the eye, it is perfectly calm. The sun is shining. The birds are flying. The water is still. You need to be the eye of the storm. The world will swirl around you. The economy will crash. Politicians will scream. People will panic. Trends will change. Your friends might leave. But you stay in the center. This doesn't mean you don't care. It means you care too much about your own stability to let the outside world shake it. It means you are grounded. Think of a huge oak tree.
When the wind blows, the leaves rustle, the branches might sway, but the trunk does not move. The roots go deep. Being reactive makes you a leaf. The wind blows and you go wherever it takes you. Being stoic makes you the trunk. You stand your ground. There is a quiet confidence that comes from this. People can sense it. When everyone else is freaking out and you are calm, people look to you for leadership. They see that you have something they don't. You have self-control. And in a world out of control, self-control is the ultimate superpower. This is the state of ataraxia, the Greek word for untroubled mind. It is the fortress that no enemy can breach. You can lock up my body, you can take my money, you can ruin my reputation, but you cannot touch my mind unless I hand you the key. And today, you stop handing out the key. The next time you feel that heat rising in your neck, remember this video. Remember that the reaction is a trap. It is a test. The universe is testing you. It is asking, are you a master or are you a slave? It takes zero effort to get angry. Any child can throw a tantrum. It takes a warrior to remain silent. It takes discipline to smile when you want to scream. It takes wisdom to understand that the best way to win the game is to stop playing. Stop explaining yourself. Stop trying to convince people who are committed to misunderstanding you. Stop letting your happiness depend on the mood of others. Your life is yours. Your mind is yours. Reclaim it. Be the rock. Be the eye of the storm. Be the one who watches but does not waver. If you want to master your mind and build a life of true freedom, subscribe to the channel. Let's build that fortress together.